Yo, check this out. First of all, look at that beautiful skyline. I wanted to share that. It's actually a lot brighter on the camera than it is in real life. But yeah, it's pretty beautiful, isn't it? All right, now let me show you the awesome stuff I got going on in the game now. And you can get another sweet view while you watch. So, I have got... I'll explain what this is later. Let's get back to the level. Okay, so the first level of Act 2 is complete, or at least the prototype is complete. I got all the enemies working perfectly the way I wanted them to. All the animations and sizes are good, I think. And I got a mixture here of the blues and reds now, more spread throughout the level. And everything technically and under the hood is working perfectly for the level as well. So not only do I have the prototype for the first level done, but I have this ready as a template for all the future prototypes I'm going to make for the rest of the levels. So let me show you how it plays now. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty sick. As you can see, I got the guy like dashing past you much better now. So yeah, very awesome. The only thing I'm not sure about there is the the mixture of the blue enemies with the red guys. Just because, and I don't know if I was being thrown off a little bit because I was initially used to playing with only the red guys in there, and so you get into the habit of dashing back and forth through them to kill them, and the blue guys only take the one hit. And once I mixed it up, I found myself sometimes getting confused. Like, it has a trade-off. When you are focused and you're noticing which of the guys are blue and which are red, and you know like how many times you got to go back and forth and all that, it feels good and it's a lot of fun and it feels very ninja-like. It's pretty sick. But anytime you get confused between them and you like killed a guy and you weren't expecting to and you're like, oh wait, what? Like, that's where it can get a little messy. But I feel like once I've gotten used to playing this finished version of it, I don't really have any issues with that anymore. I think it was probably just a habit left over from playing with only the red guys initially, so I'm going to leave it like that for now. Easy enough to change it later if I prefer it to be only the dashing back and forth. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very satisfying, clanging back and forth like that. Now, the other thing I was working on there was I started making a template for the exterior of the level. So I went to go do this, or at least create a simple version of it that I'll get to work to maybe tomorrow. But the problem was, okay, so here are screenshots from when Amanda was putting this together of how it's supposed to work. So I haven't really put actually much in here. I'm just, other than I guess the staircase here, I was just setting this up for when I do get to work to it, because as I was looking at this, I was realizing that we've got kind of a problem here, a few different problems, and I think I'm gonna have to sit down and think about this some more. So part of the issue is, okay, I remember way back when Amanda was first working on this, she made one where the building was a lot taller, and I think I'm gonna go back and find that. But of course, if the building is taller, it takes up a lot more space vertically, and then that's kind of weird because then you've got this big chunk of vertical space where you won't be able to see your character as you enter the building. So with the art style, or the perspective style I should say, that we have going on here, it's kind of tricky to make this work right. And as it is right now, like, this is the intended design now. I don't know, it's all right. Now that I'm looking at it again, I don't mind it too much. It works pretty nice. I just wish we could somehow imply more verticality to it, just because it feels just slightly too bungalow right now, you know? Like a one floor crack house type building or something. I don't know. I might need to look at some more references of early 20th century architecture, because that was the kind of stuff I wanted to go for. Old, like, brick buildings kind of thing. Otherwise, though, I think most of the environmental art here is good. I think it sets the urban tone well, especially for like an island city. It'll look also way better once I actually implement it and put like proper lighting and stuff. I might ask her maybe to make some kind of like cool neon lights or something like that, because this is, once you go inside, it's much more like almost like a, what's the word, yakuza nightclub type of feeling inside. um but yeah, and then you can see there's other problems here as well, like this roof. Obviously we don't want this here because you won't be able to see inside, but you could fade it out. But then you've got like, okay, this is weird, this big gap here, which might not be so bad if we have the roofing cover it here, and that's fine. I actually don't mind this roofing so much. The real problem is just that once we get into, like, this is just one room, right? Once we get into the much bigger levels, see, like, this is the way we did the roofing for, this is from the first level in the whole game. Like, this is very modular, right? Like, I just go in and set these up myself, as opposed to her having to custom make these every time for every room. So I don't know, I might have to talk to her about that. Maybe it's not a big deal for her to make these, because what I was thinking is if we just cut this part out and keep just this outer edge, I think that can work. Like, if you look at this and this, really the big thick cement part is on the outer edge, so that can, yeah, that can work. It's just not very modular, and I don't know also how it would connect to, like, you'd have to be thinking about if there's another room up here, like, okay, the roof has to end here, and how would that look? So I don't know, I'll have to think about that some more. So anyway, that's what gave me pause before I was gonna go in and just start setting it all up, as I was kind of like, I don't know, but I can probably still do some work to set up the basics there, and then I'll think about it some more and have something ready for Amanda that we can iterate on once she gets back, so we can really get the feeling of that just right. And yes, that's the main thing I'll be working on next. Probably be able to get that done in like a couple days or something, and then I guess I'll just keep going with making the prototypes for the rest of the levels. I'll be waiting for Amanda and Maria to continue work on to get the art done for the Goman boss fight, and I'll just keep working on the rest of these levels while they do that. And one other thing too is this image, this background image that we've been using in these levels. This thing right here. We've been using this image in the background for the first act, and I think we took this out of the public domain, the Library of Congress or something, and I felt like it fit well considering what the setting is for the first act. It might even fit better actually in the third act. I don't know, we might switch these up when we get closer to the end of development. I'm not sure what we can use for the second act. It's got to be something a lot more urban, obviously. Something neon lights, something 20th century, I don't know. So we'll see if there's something appropriate for that. If not, maybe worst case scenario at the end, hopefully I've got some budget left over and I can just commission Amanda to make like a custom one. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, so I think that's it for the current plan. That's all I got for now. I do oh right, I was going to mention about the promo videos. I know I've been putting this off for so long. There's a reason why I haven't gotten to it still, even though I've had every opportunity, which I'm not even going to bother to explain, but hopefully, pray for me, it will be this weekend that I'll finally get these fucking videos done and start posting them. This weekend, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, I don't know. Whatever. One way or another, it will get done. I don't have much else to talk about. I did notice recently a trend on I don't have too much to say about this, but I noticed a trend on TikTok of all these AI videos of hypothetical games. They're almost always dark fantasy, and they're always playing the exact same song. It's like this synth based. Sometimes there's different versions of it with different instruments, but it's almost always the synth one where it's like I don't even know if I'm singing it right. I haven't listened to it in a while, but anyway, there's like a million of these AI type videos of sometimes it's like pixel art billboard sprites, but in a 3D setting. Other times it's just the very ubiquitous nowadays among indie games low poly PS1 look. But either way, there was a ton of different, I think, what do you call them on TikTok? Channels, pages, whatever, who are posting videos like this. And now just recently I saw there's multiple studios making these games. And I was just thinking about I don't know, I don't know what you'd call it. It's not like cynicism, but like, I don't know, the commercialism, the consumerism of like, there's these studios that just look at what is popular on TikTok and they're like, that's what we're going to make. Which, to be fair, totally legitimate commercial strategy. I remember seeing there was another studio where they decided what game to make by also generating like fake conceptual games and then posting 100 different types of these games on TikTok and seeing which of the videos blew up. And I think for them, it was ultimately some kind of game about taking care of your pet cat or something like that. And that was the one that blew up. So they're like, all right, that's what we're making. Which, yeah, I don't know. I guess in the arts, there's always been a field for just like going after whatever will make you money, and I suppose at a certain point you kind of have to do that. But artistically, I don't know. I don't know if I had to make games that I don't feel like making or I'm not inspired to make, would it even be worth doing what I'm doing? Like if I'm just gonna go and make whatever happens to be popular just so I can make money, I don't know why I wouldn't just go get a job at a studio, or especially for some AAA studio or whatever. I mean, I suppose in theory, if it's extremely successful, you can make more money that way. So I suppose it's like any other entrepreneurial endeavor, but I don't know. I would rather just have a nice, simple, comfortable life if I'm not gonna get to make exactly what I want to make. You know what I mean? I don't see the point in it. All right. That's it for tonight. It's probably one of my earliest videos yet. See if this is a trend I can keep up. Probably not. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.